Let's find a place where everybody knows how to sit.
Oh yeah, here we can do this now.
Yeah. Everybody get comfortable. Deborah's going to tell a little story.
Okay.
We can have a story too.
Here, yeah, you scoot over, I'll sit right behind you. Sit right in my middle. This is my hanging chair. I love my hanging chair. I got it, and I was so excited to get it.
Is this your hanging chair in your hangout?
Yeah. This is my bitch phone. But,
I can't believe it.
now you recognize it?
Yeah.
Wait till you see the pictures.
Oh my gosh.
Wait till you see the pictures that I found. And I just found them like a couple nights ago. I was like, and I thought they were all lost because it had a picture of Andy, it has pictures of Dawn, it had, because Andy passed away.
Yeah.
And it has pictures of Tony.
There's a couple.
Tony dancing, pole dancing there. Has pictures of Georgie. Has pictures of us, pole dancing. Yep.
No.
And it's funny because I think we were wearing masks then too. But anyway, yeah, the only thing about that, I love that chair. The only thing is that if you turn really quick, it spins you.
Okay.
You want me to just spin
Yes,
you?
I don't want to spun off.
And trust me, it spins you. Because I fall right off of it. I'll sit down because we put the movies up here, and I'll sit down, and all of a sudden I'm like up, over. God bless. Okay, so little story. What did you know?
Okay, well, I just let them know that we had a scouting mission here. We had something like 60 people here. They got all kinds of evidence. They saw shadow people. We got all kinds of EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon.
Up here was the worst.
Yeah, they saw ghostly activity. They saw mists.
We had two chairs come together.
Yeah.
In the video, which we were never given by that crew. But yeah, this barn apparently was here. These two ladies right here, they actually are part of the family who built onto this property. They built our house, and their uncle's house was the one up the hill. And I found out, now I had heard stories that this barn was actually over 100 years old, but I swear to God, I thought you guys built it. No. And no, it wasn't. So what was it part of? How you guys just bought the property, or Walter bought the property, and it was already here?
Yeah.
Who built it? Don't know. There's no record of it. And then there's supposedly there was a church at one point back here. There's a foundation.
Well, they used to call, now I can't remember, what did they used to call the driveway?
Tent City.
Tent City.
That's true.
Because of all
The Wells Fargo stop. The Wells Fargo stop was a makeshift Wells Fargo stop at the bottom of our hill. So when you made that right into our property, they had a little makeshift. They would come down with their gold, and then they would go into Sacramento. And there was a flood in 1859, 50-something. But we actually didn't know nothing about it when we did our investigation, and we were using the spirit box, and that's when it came across, and it came across the exact date and time. And I went to the Historical Society, and that's how I found out about the flood. And it killed a lot of people, including a lot of horses. There was a lot of horses, and oh God, I can't remember everything. I mean, it just flooded the whole thing.
Wow.
So you had heard about, or you knew about that. What about the bottle find?
Down there.
At the end of the driveway.
Down the end of the driveway.
Yeah.
Blue bottles.
Yeah, the bottle find.
Stuff.
They called it the bottle find because a lot of the, 'cause things washed into the ground.
Oh, that's how they got there.
That's how they got there.
Wow. I just thought people had dumped their trash out there.
Nope, it was from Tent City, and that after it flooded there, they ended up moving to the Wells Fargo stop to some barn somewhere in town.
Wow.
And then Jim Loomis actually was part of this property over here. He wanted to put the dog track right behind us. That was where the dog track was supposed to go. And then there's a little girl that they lived on the property. Now I'm assuming they're the ones who probably built the barn. They lived on the property. She apparently killed herself in this barn because her little girl died in a pond. I don't know if it's this pond because I don't know how old this pond is right here.
It's me and my dad built it.
Okay, so it's a pond somewhere right around here, but she ended up drowning in it, and Jim Loomis was the one who got accused of it. And it wasn't him, he was trying to pull her out. Something like that. There's like a story like that. That's what the historians told me. And then I also looked it up in the Loomis library. But we don't know quite her last name. And she's buried somewhere, and apparently she can't, that's what they're saying is they can't find her, she can't find her grave. That's what the psychic said. Now, So that's it, and then the mom was so distraught she hung herself here. And that's where my daughter, who was 12 at the time, she walked in the barn, she would never come back out in this barn. She saw the woman hanging there with blood.
Wow.
And she would not come in this barn. She still has a problem coming in the barn. I mean, it was, so then we were having an investigation up here, and as we were having an investigation up here, I sat there and said to whatever was up here, I said, leave my daughter alone. And just then, do you remember this? It came right at, some black shadow came right at me, and it yelled no in my face and went right out that opening. And I didn't come back in the barn for a long time. I mean, that was enough to scare me for a while. And then I was told that there was an entity here. It was never human. It was never human, and it was something very evil keeping spirits here. Well, since our last investigation, because there was a lot of stuff going on here, we'd get stuff thrown out. What did you had some stuff happen. I mean, it was a freaky place. And, so we had a psychic come in here. She did the mirror with the candle, and then we broke it, and then she took it somewhere. And ever since then, we haven't really had any real problems like the evil part.
Right.
But then the psychic came back, and she knew nothing about their family, nothing about their name, and she said, Don John. And I'm like, okay, well, why are you saying Don John? And then that's when she says, well, he's here protecting the animals, making sure that they are not getting hurt. And that just sounds like him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a pretty cool dude. And then and I don't mean to bring up something because it's really kind of hard, but their mother passed away recently, and in a horrific accident, and right the day after, or maybe a couple days later, her wedding portrait ended up on my dining room table, and none of us know how it got there at all. I mean,
I don't even know how she would have it.
Exactly. I mean, I had never seen it before.
When did you find it? On the day before?
It was the day after, or like a couple days later. It was on my dining room table. And it was her. I could see it in her eyes. Sorry.
Is it still there?
No, I moved it. And it's, I think, in the hallway towards the, you're going to get it before you leave. Anything that I found, it has to do with parents. But yeah, it was fairly recent, so. She was a great, great, great lady.
Yes, she was.
Everybody
She was
loved
the
her.
best mom ever. Everyone called her mom.
Everyone loved her. I mean, this whole town. You can't go anywhere in
She
here.
would talk to my friend, with the friends would call for us, and she'd be on the phone with them for like an hour. You know.
Oh, it's just Lisa. I'm like, that's for me.
We would go into Kmart, and I would just go up to her just to give her a hug. I mean, I would wait 10 minutes in a line just to go through her
My mom
line.
said, I don't know why all these silly people wait in my line. There's nobody over there, and they're all in my line.
Because nobody liked the other people. I mean, it was like, she was just so sweet. She was just such a sweetheart. She was just sweet. And then your dad with the chocolate kisses,
Yeah,
man.
and the roses.
And we'd have to come around, because we bartended, and he'd come into our bar, and we'd have to come around the bar to give him a big hug, and he'd have to give us kisses, and like, or either one of you guys would be there and be like, okay, you gotta come give him a hug. He's got kisses for you, and he'd give you the little kisses, and it was like, it was just cute.
Yeah,
It was
when
just
the
really
roses
cute.
weren't in season, they were just kids.
The last time I saw the two of them together, they were actually at the WC dancing.
Is that right?
Yeah, I had not seen them ever dance, and your mom, I know, wanted him to go, and they were there up there, and that was the last time I saw them.
My mom takes my dad out on Halloween, their Halloween hunt. She dressed up and got dropped off later, and then she went and sat at the same table as he did, and she had a mask on.
Oh, no.
And it was one of those rubber masks where the lips were closed.
Mm-hmm.
And so she got a drink, and she couldn't drink it because she had no opening in her mouth. And then, so they cut a little hole in her mouth, you know. And then they danced together, like Dad, had not a clue.
That's a comfy chair.
My dad not had a clue.
Oh, I believe it.
And
You
then
found
they both
Tussie?
went to death
Yeah.
costume.
Oh.
It was so cool.
So we have the one reason why I asked these guys to come tonight was because I wanted them to give us some history about that I can't really. I mean, we've had so many people, some psychics that come through here that say they've all been the same stories. It's all been the same stories, and it's like people I don't know, and the only thing I can think of, like, you guys would have to, like, what she had said, that she walked in and she saw a gentleman with dark hair wearing like a pea coat. Now, this is the second time I've heard the story where there's somebody in that old part of the house, so that, like, the original part of the house, that was in a military uniform, maybe Navy, maybe, you know, but it was from World War II. Do you know, I mean, maybe an uncle, nobody, I mean.
Peacoats usually Navy, I think.
Who, what?
Peacoats are usually Navy.
Yeah, but back in World War II, they also, not Army, but then Marines.
That was in World War I or II?
No, Korean.
Your dad?
Yeah, in the Korean War.
What was his,
I know.
was he in the Navy, was he in the,
He was in the Army.
okay. But, I
And
mean,
then
I know he
Uncle
originally
Paul-
had dark hair, I mean,
Uncle Bob. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Always.
Well, I brought a picture of them together.
I wonder if it, you know, 'cause I mean, it was after we moved in, it was 2011 was when we did the investigation, it was the first time I ever heard of it. And he was in the bathroom. It was the bathroom, and when we started doing construction on the house, we were getting a lot of, like somebody coming and banging on the door, the front door. And I thought it was my friends coming over, you know, and I'd be the only one on property. And I mean, it was like enough to get my dog to be like, "Arr!" And I was trying to put fire, you know, load the fireplace. And I'm like, come in. And they just, like a cop knock.
Yeah.
And
That happened a lot.
it did?
Towards the end.
Oh, just the police coming a lot.
Oh, the police. But, that was, and then an Indian around 3 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know if it's an actual Indian, but I know that it would whoop and holler and it would come around the house and you could hear it. And at first I thought it was crazy. I mean, I really did. Here's a good story.
Oh,
You might know about.
during the scouting mission, remember people were hearing the tapping of drums
Yep.
and some chanting.
We actually got it
Yeah,
on tape.
yeah.
We got it on tape. Here's another story you don't know about.
Okay.
We had a girl come here. It was one of my daughter's friends, and she thought, oh, ghost, yeah, blah, blah, blah. She comes out here, and she's just like taunting them, okay? And I kept telling her, don't do it. Don't taunt them, because she was like leaving right after that. And she did it anyway, and then she took off. Next thing I know, all the lights in our house went out. And I'm thinking, okay, is everybody out? And I'm looking up the hill, and the house is, you know, all the lights are on up there. All of a sudden we walk over to here where that little transformer is.
Yeah, right.
And it looks like there's 3 claw marks that just went like this. It was so unnerving, I guess you could say, that the PG&E guy that came out here made Tiffany and I stand out there with him. I mean, it looked like Godzilla just went, and he was freaked out. He was really freaked out. But that happened here, and then right after that, we had a little bit of the bumps up here, it was creepy. I had a hard time coming up here for a long time.
During the scouting mission, there was some people that actually freaked out, and they actually left early.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were zipping out of the, the driveway.
Oh, they were actually shaking. One girl really, we thought we were going to have to call the ambulance, but she was just freaked out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, she went into convulsions.
Yep.
Yeah,
she was freaked out.
Yeah.
But it was like that was the night that the chairs were coming together.
Yeah.
We put a chair over here and a chair over here, and took a video, and the chairs came together. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And there's a hump. If you look here, there's a hump, so it's not like something like it could come together. It's more of a no. But I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people leaving, and then they got a lot of EVPs down at the tree when you're coming up the hill.
What's that?
That tree. It's an electronic voice phenomenon.
Yeah.
But
Find the big rocks up there?
yeah, got a lot of stuff there. That's also where we were running the spirit box, and that's when we got about the Wells Fargo shop down the hill. I mean, it was right on everything that it said. I went to the Historical Society, and they're like, yeah, that happened in da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay. Because I'm not really a believer yet. I would rather be either proven wrong or right. You know? But there's some stuff that's unexplainable. I mean, we've gotten some pictures of the little girl. I've gotten a picture of the little girl, the mom, and an older, like, I'm thinking I always call him Jim Loomis. But this guy whoever owned this property over here, he was a caretaker here, and everything we've gotten has been told that it's Jim Loomis. So, I don't know
You
how,
got pictures of the little girl that was killed?
I only have like a
Right.
swoosh, type picture,
okay.
and then I get a lot of purple pictures, which, that's of
My
late.
mom's
That's my
favorite
mom's
color.
favorite color.
Really? Cause it's only been, really?
Yeah.
I brought my computer
Got
out,
a
so.
purple holy ball.
I got everything. Well, the psychic that came in here, she said, she looked at me and she says she is glad you're here. That's all she said to me. And it was just like, I didn't think, she'd remember or whatever, just,
Yeah.
I started getting chills in the back of my neck. The psychic that came in, she was, really good. But she didn't know anything about the property, she didn't know any names, nothing, and she named it, and I was like, uh-oh. But she was the one that got whatever was bad up here, and I mean, it was bad, it was nasty bad. It was, it would push you down the stairs, it would
It would
spank
follow
you.
you in the house.
Oh, yeah, oh.
Oh,
I
in
had
the
to-
house, it would just create such a ruckus in
Oh.
the house. It would scare the heck out of you. It was in the closet.
Oh,
It
yeah.
would crawl up into the attic. And in that little crawl spot, you would hear it up there.
My bedroom was in the attic, or that's where well, not in the attic, but the crawl hole. And I'd always be scared when they leave that thing on, and not
Oh,
put it back
no.
on the crawl hole.
Yeah, you hear it every night, you hear something, and see, I had a house in Ohio that, could have been haunted, but I was in the house by myself, and you could hear something jump off a bed, and you hear the stomp down the stairs, and I'd be the only one in the house, and it's like, okay, that's not really explainable. Or like the door would open, or like the window that never been opened would open, but we've had stuff like that happen here, but the pictures is just, and I don't, we talk about, we don't really think the orbs, we don't really like the orbs, but if you blow them up, I blew up some of the orbs. And it's unexplainable.
You get some faces on them and stuff like
Yeah.
that, right?
Like, remember Ione, the
Mhm.
cemetery? I got those were